going to be locked in.
That B4, B5 is just full of sin, right? If you don't
yeah.
get ahead, this is what we talk about with sin. Like, if you do not get ahead, then you just kind of lose. You get so far behind from not getting ahead that you lose a lot of value as the game goes along, and there's so much pressure on your team to really get in there. I mean, they have Ezreal for some later game, mid to late game damage, and they do like to rely on Viper a lot, but certainly if they do get behind on this one, you would have to give the advantage to T1 as the game does come along.
Yep. I do like what Hanwha do have when it comes to team fights, though. If they catch a few people in a Tempered Fate, then you've got, you know, a slice and dice from a Renekton to get right on top with the heroic entrance coming down, which means, like, a lot of guaranteed CC at that point in time. But, yeah, I think you were right when you said that this is largely sinful. So if Haru and Dudu can't get things done in the early game, it is going to be very, very difficult for Hanwha Life to take this victory. But Viper does have a lot of agency in this particular composition, right? Like, Ezreal, a phenomenal AD carry for just being self-sufficient. And what we've known from this team is that the bottom lane is on their own, and they have to try and carry.
Yeah, it's the 2v8, essentially, the 1v9 sometimes when we just talk about Viper, as Lehends has been a little bit spotty as the team has been losing. We haven't seen too much Quinn. I think it's the second or third pick here in summer, and Canna's going to be pulling it out once again. So we got all the feather champions coming in alongside of Xayah.
We need Rakan, and then we get and Azir, and then we'd have so many feathers.
Well, Azir got banned, but I was looking for the Xayah Rakan potential there on B2, B3, but they did prioritize the Zoe.
What's the bird jungler that could have come in?
Nivea jungle, of course.
Nivea jungle, obviously. Yeah, sorry, I apologize.
Obviously, yeah. Atlas, come on.
Sorry, it's early. Okay.
Yeah. 5 p.m.
Yeah, Esports.
I got up early for this.
Oh, Canna's going to get discovered here. Spear lands max range. That's an immediate cleanse. And I guess that's why he took the cleanse, guys. Cleanse plus Nimbus Cloak gets him all the way out of there. It doesn't have teleport, remember. This is Quinn. You generally turn into a bird, or ride your bird. Good old Valor. Trying to remember all of the Quinn names for everything.
Good luck.
Yeah, no, it's a toughie. Just don't get to see her all that often.
Yeah, and that was a really cute play, actually, by Hanwha Life. They come in prepared with a magical journey gank, specifically targeting the top lane. It goes along with their draft that is specifically targeting the top lane. It's good to see. I mean, Hanwha Life, you know, they were 0-9, and we were like, well, is this team going to show us anything this season? Well, it seems like after that win, they're finally, you know, feeling like they're ready to prepare and actually get some stuff going. So you like to see it.
Really like to see that ward as well that I believe Faker put down next to the Raptor camp. Saw everyone on Hanwha Life, so of course was able to get in there. This is a sinful Nidalee as well. Look at that Dark Harvest being picked up.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Renekton runes. The yeah, he's going to go press the attack, but I'm not sure how often he's going to be pressing that attack, at least one-on-one.
You can, I believe, catch the Vault with your stun if she dives onto you.
Big if true.
Yeah, I think you can. I think you can, if you buffer it. So it's not as amazing. We'll actually have to have a look at that interaction, because I'm pretty sure that happens. I don't know whether you do immediately go back to the Vault, but I mean, once you're back there, you're going to be stunned anyway.
Yeah. The lane up at the top lane, we saw it was going heavily towards Canna, obviously. Down on the bottom side, they're having a nice time, actually. And I kind of like that some of the other AD carry champions are slowly, you know, getting nerfed, falling off a little bit. You know, Varus gets played a lot less. The Ezreal is eating some nerfs. Aphelios, we've found some counters. So now we finally get to see other stuff. We get to see Teddy playing Xayah for the second time.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Xayah. I really feel like she has a lot of skill expression with her feathers and how you position and how you can avoid, you know, CC and stuff like that. As that's really unfortunate for Cuzz.
Exactly. Canna not going to have Vault to disengage from Haru here. Misses the blind and has to flash. But Cuzz is going to be set up. Harrier comes down, actually, as there's the face breaker. Immediate flash out there from Haru as double teleports are coming in. They're still going in onto Dudu to a phenomenal bubble. As Mireu now in trouble, actually, as soon as he comes down. Just a lot of DPS with these members of T1, but no one to go down just yet.
Yeah, it was a really big skirmish early on in this game. You can see that Faker, he's not done yet.
Well, denying that back is actually big because they don't have inside track to try and get back to this mid lane.
And it's pushing back into Faker too. So
yeah.
It's even bigger. When you look at all of this, it looks like they're... I thought maybe Sett was pushing. I was going to feel not so good about that one.
Making sure they don't miss out on too much experience. Magical Journey gets Lehends away, but still sitting on 250 health. Not exactly the ideal scenario for the Bard right here. His effort is just going to say thanks for the ride. Move on up towards this river and double scuttle from a Sett into a Nidalee. This is definitely what we wanted to see out of Cuzz. Something better, something more proactive. Yes, it is still farming his jungle, but it's taking camps away from Nidalee, who needs them.
Yeah, and you do see that Haru is trying to get aggressive again. Flashes are down, which, you know, it's 2 flashes to 1. Maybe you would say this would be good for T1, but actually it does make this lane a lot more annoying for Canna because he can't be as aggressive as he wants to be. You can see that he has to back off. He's able to spot Nidalee up on the top side. T1 have to call in the reinforcements.
Yeah, immediate vault on top of the Nidalee here as Press the Attack is stacking up. Fair bit of damage onto Haru, as you can see. Pretty heads-up play there from Canna, though, just to make sure that he's not going to be staying in that lane. Susceptible, despite the fact that he will lose a bit of farm, but as you can see, still 4 in the lead. Not really too much of a big deal here as Faker's going to go for a bit of a recall as the lane resets. And he's got Sorcerer's Shoes first item. This is a Zoe that wants to get work done very early.
Yeah, it's going to give her some good mobility. Obviously, a little bit less wave clear, but he wants to be active on the map early on. And it also helps him get back to lane quicker in that specific instance. So maybe he would get, you know, like 1 extra CS. So when we're talking about min-maxing, it can make sense in that fact as well. And you can see that now that the flashes are down. The Renekton is having a bit better of a time up in the top side. And that counter pick is, for now, not feeling as good.
Yep. You saw how the interactions work. If the Renekton slices onto you, you vault away. Feels pretty good there. Haven't seen the Ruthless Predator interaction, which I want to see confirmed. As Faker comes down with an Ignite in hand. Haru. Battlestar's going to miss, though, as now Effort taking so much damage. Flashes out of the way, as there's the Haymaker from Cuzz, keeping him alive. Teddy avoiding so many of these skill shots as Magical Journey has to get Hanwha away from this one. Cuzz still around, will have the smite available, and that is Ocean Drake. Secured for T1. Faker still looking for more, but unable to find any of these low health members. Still, definite success here for T1.
Yeah, they're able to kind of bully them out of the pit there, and I was thinking maybe they could have just stayed, but Faker with exhaust and full health, he was really putting the pressure on.
Bubble. A lot of damage on the Mireu.
You can see that Cuzz just comes back, picks up another scuttle. 3rd one of the game, I believe.
Yep, not for him though. That was the first 2 belonged to Cuzz. So thankfully able to get 1.
Well, Cuzz picked that one up as well.
All right.
So.
Oh. Sorry, we were like looking at a Nidalee and I'm like, oh, she must have taken it. There we go. So yeah, okay, Cuzz.
Yeah. Oh, Redemption. Good play by Faker here.
Yep, nailing it.
Watch this. Wow.
Beautiful. Look at that wave clear. The Zoe's AoE is just fantastic if played by a good player, because good players get more redemptions.
Very true.
Yeah.
Seems like Faker and BDD somehow are the best at that.
Yeah. Chovy and Showmaker are also pretty good. We got some good Zoes here in the LCK.
We do.
A bit frightening. Dudu. Holding on. Does actually have a slight lead when it comes to farm, and Ninja Tabi going to be giving him a lot of value in this matchup. So remembered shoes this time, you know? Sometimes you make a mistake like that, and you're just guaranteed to never make that one again.
He was on a split pusher, like it was Camille, I think.
Yeah, it was.
That he was playing, and it's like, well, you're probably going to want that for getting around the map, making sure you're in the right position at the right time.
I think he had like Trinity Force, Ravenous Hydra, and Death's Dance.
Yeah,
and then finished Boots, which is pretty silly. His effort's going to make his way in. Haru in position though, as Mireu to be able to find the Taunt onto Effort, who just dredge lands away, but does miss half of his health bar. Faker just skipping around. I'm pretty sure that spear just went through the Nautilus, as that's a great Justice Punch. The Faker, of course, picked up a heal, so not in any danger. Because Teddy's also rotating up. They really want Shelly right now. Do T1. But Mireu does have... Oh no, it's not quite available just yet. Is Haru going to get chunked? This should guarantee the Rift Herald that Cuzz has already started.
Yeah, and there's no vision around here. I think you should probably just send Teddy back bot right away. But he's going to try to eat this mid-wave. And again, we talk about this trade a lot. You already know that the jungler and that Hanwha Life are not going to be challenging here. And Faker would have been here to pick up this wave anyway. So now Teddy and Faker are sharing XP, sharing CS, when a lot of it is going to waste down here in the bottom lane. And it's going to give a free comeback for Viper, who was behind about 15 CS. He's going to get a bunch of plates, too, down on the bottom side. And the rotation from Teddy is really slow. He's eventually going to get there. But I think that could have been played a bit better from the side of T1.
The thing that I'm worried about here, though, is with that Rift Herald, T1 can crash it into the top lane out of turret, give a bunch of plates over to Canna, and allow the potential snowball of Hanwha Life, who really need to, with Renekton and Nidalee, right? Like, you want to be attacking top lane to try and get that snowball working. Like, they're not going to be able to if Canna grabs all of that plate gold and all of that extra map control by taking down the turret. So you can understand the mindset based on comp here for T1, but you're exactly right. It's just a lot of resources going missing.
Yeah, and Cuzz is going to hold on to that for now. I like how we're seeing more and more Hex Flash. I feel like that rune is really good, actually.
Yeah. It feels like a Sett and Alistair, like, god rune.
Yeah,
like if you have
Leona, pretty good
Leona
too.
as well. Yeah, absolutely.
All these champions that are just like, I am definitely just going to only go forward, and I'm like a supportive kind of tank champion. Really good on all of those. Would like to see it more, and we are actually here in the LCK, so it's really cool.
Yep. Dudu getting a good shove here, but he's going to take a bit of damage from good old press the attack Quinn. We'll miss out on a couple of melee minions. This kind of moves back over and says no. No, Mr. Crocodile.
Yeah, he's doing okay given the matchup after the way the early game did go, I suppose. So Dudu is farming pretty well. But again, you know, they weren't able to get any kills really onto any of the members of T1. So at the end of the day, now as a whole, your team is behind and you're left with Renekton and Nidalee going into the late game. It's not going to feel as good as the Quinn Sett.
Wow. It's a fair bit of damage availability here as Bubble is going to connect. Cuzz moves on over towards Lehends, but not going to join him on that journey. Haru, very squishy. He's built a Null Magic Mantle here, so it looks like it's going to be second item Athenes, so it's going to put the potential Rod of Ages really far behind if he is going to forego that option.
Yeah, once again, it's like, let's play for Viper.
Yeah.
Let's give Viper everything that he wants, I suppose.
Well, in goes the Galio. That's a great depth charge as Faker's going to flash out of the way of everything right there. Mireu, obviously, much bigger brain than we were expecting. Viper, I don't know how he landed that Mystic Shot, but he did. Faker going to have to go back, but does have Teleport with his Unsealed Spellbook. And now Hanwha Life should be able to take away the coveted prize.
Oh, yeah.
In the cloud.
Great. And I remember LS when we were first talking about these changes as Hanwha Life is going to be able to get out of here. At the beginning of 2020 with the Elemental Drakes, we were talking about, you know, potentially giving up number 2 to get 3 of the Soul Drake, especially when it's Cloud, right? You give one Cloud over, it's like, who cares, right? Your Soul is going to be delayed, of course.
Yeah.
And they are going to get a delayed Infernal Soul if they end up, you know, getting a couple more Drakes. But in this sense, they are able to pick up 3 Infernal Drakes instead of 2 along the way, which obviously is fantastic. I mean, you have Xayah, Zoe, and Quinn up in the top side. So if T1 from here can roll into that, that's going to feel really nice for them.
Whoa, this is a lot of damage as Canna hunting after Dudu. He's got a long way to run. Don't want to cancel them autos. Does it a few times, but doesn't have any ability to follow him without using his summoners. Doesn't want to do that. Wants to be able to keep up the pressure here in this lane. Is Dudu going to back in that brush? Could potentially be dangerous, but going to find him. Quinn makes sure that that minion dies. Now going to shove this wave towards the turret. Only managed to get one plate as the Quinn, as Dudu. Dudu.
Well, he's got Cleanse Flash, so I don't... And notice kind of the second that Renekton's there, he's like, oh, Nidalee's here. Yeah. I can't be as aggressive as I wanted to. Effort's going for a walk.
Bit of a drive. I liked it. Right, sometimes you got to do that, you know? You got to check out what's happening behind the turret. As Canna's going to poke his head out again, and this time probably thinking that Nidalee isn't around because Dudu's playing far more passively. And if T1 like have eyes on the Nidalee, then the bottom lane and this top lane get very, very difficult for Hanwha Live. Because it's only a potential Nidalee that's going to stop Canna from just endlessly harassing Dudu out of this lane. But we still haven't had a first blood in 15 minutes.
We're looking to break the record again. We broke it 2 days ago with a 18 minutes, I think 40-second first blood. Not the overall LCK record, of course, but for summer.
Yep.
We did break that record, and we're only 3 minutes away now to potentially getting there, so I like it. I like that idea.
When's the next fight going to happen? Potentially 2.5 minutes. So still definitely on track. As Haru's just going to wander into the mid lane to help get a shove. So again, not much aggression. Dudu went back. He's got Black Cleaver. As Spear going to sail wide. As Cuzz will join up with effort. And again, no action whatsoever.
Yeah,
Cuzz spotted on vision as Viper should be safe. Arcane Shift at the ready.
It's a lot of posturing. In the jungle, T1 is looking to see if they can catch anyone out with a dredge line or a bubble on their way. Dudu does not have his TP. He's been heavily focused up in the top side. He's been just TPing back into lane, making sure he's getting that farm. And he's actually ahead of the Quinn, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Given the matchup. Not really sure how he managed that or how that even happened. But it's all about this Infernal Drake, and it's all about the Infernal Drake even 2 minutes ahead of the spawn. Yeah, so we're just trying to get vision.
Do you know
now.
what it is? It's all about LCK records, actually. So I'm just hoping that these players calm down. Can't be seeing any first bloods for at least another minute 20, because I want to break some more records, man. We had the fastest game in LCK history the other day. Is Cuzz? No, don't go aggressive. Face breaker onto Haru here. The flash was real good to get Haru to safety. Now Cuzz realizes that he may have overstepped. Also got way too close to getting a first blood. Is now Faker moving himself forward. It's knocked up for a moment, but everything's going to be fine. And passivity is going to reign supreme. No, I tell a lie. There's the knock-up. Tempered Fate, though, to buy some time here for Mireu, who's trying to get out. Justice Punch was dangerous, but is going to be safe. First blood lands onto the turret. But that's the closest thing we have to that just yet.
Yeah, we finally killed a turret, at least. Thanks guys. Good work. And you can see the power of Bard, able to keep that Galio alive. They had an immense amount of damage just all focused there. I think they would have been able to kill the Galio with no Justice Punch available. He did have Flash, which I suppose he might have just been able to flash if he was under too much danger, but it didn't look like he was actually trying to go for that. So definitely a very interesting kind of a skirmish, because now Lehends does not have his ultimate here for the fight. So you have to wonder, is the Galio flash better than the Lehends ultimate? I'd say probably, but we'll have to wait and see how this fight goes.
Yep. Quinn is to the skies at the moment. His effort may have to flash here. He's going to go golden first, holding out his anchor, looking majestic, flashes away. Now Faker Getting engaged on here by Mireu, who finds one taunt onto Cuzz, but he's pretty tanky. Will have Haymaker available. Keep himself alive. 18 minutes and 20 seconds into the game, guys. This will be our latest first blood, but can they bring the record further? No! They won't be able to, as Faker's going to be taken down. Hanwha Life claim first blood at 18 minutes and 25 seconds.
And it just looked like T1 were not expecting Hanwha Life to get that aggressive into their own jungle, as Faker's just casually trying to throw and do Zoe stuff, and Hanwha Life were not taking any of his crap. They were going right in his face and looking to engage hard onto that Zoe, who did not have flash. And Faker, unfortunately, did not respect it, gets taken out, and they give the Infernal Drake over to Hanwha Life. And I wanted to mention it in the beginning of the series, but I didn't get a chance to. T1, I mean, this is a good test for them in terms of if they don't 2-0 Hanwha Life, that does not look good at all, right? For a team like T1, who is supposed to be in the top 4 here of the LCK.
Yeah.
And now here in the beginning of game 1, it's already looking a little bit shaky. This is not what you want from T1.
Nope, certainly isn't. But still very early days. Only one kill, 19 and a half minutes. Remember, our last game yesterday was already over 2 minutes ago. It was over. and these teams are struggling to find first blood. So it's a different day. It's a different day today. But warmer comfy pants, just to make sure that we're going to be settling in just fine as Faker. This is him getting caught out a little bit, just slightly over-aggressive when it comes to some of these portal jumps.
Yeah, so watch here. He's going to be right out in the front, and he's just not respecting the lack of vision. I mean, they don't have vision in there. He knows they're there. Yeah. And it's Renekton, Galio. It's going to be Haru right there with a spear right to the face. You can't just walk forward. You're not tanky as Zoe. And it was just disrespecting the vision and the engage that Hanwha Life had in their comp. And then, of course, the second he dies, there's nothing that T1 can do. As, okay.
Yep, Teddy going to avoid the Tempered Fate with his Feather Storm. No worries, but puts that on cooldown. So Hanwha Life not able to find a pick, but they do trade ultimate for ultimate. And Teddy without Feather Storm is a much different champion on this Xayah. Not going to have that added safety. So, see what Hanwha Life can do to capitalize. So far, I'm assuming not a lot.
Yeah. I love Bard as a champion. He goes so well with so many different compositions. He's great in a lot of lanes, too.
Yeah.
For neutralizing them or getting aggressive and looking for picks in the lane. And the same thing in terms of comps, too. As that is just barely going to miss, that taunt onto Faker. But you know a spear would have been coming. And even more potential damage. Faker has to be careful.
Whoa, Shirley.
On the Zoe.
Shirley just bypassed everything. It's like, no. I've got places to be. She is going to charge that inner turret top side. Dudu down here, just doing his best. Hold on to these minion waves, but it looks like Canna's not able to actually get any relevant damage onto this inner turret bottom side. Has his Blade of the Ruin King, and just wants to stay in the split push. As you'd expect, Phantom Dancer now completed here for the Quinn. We'll see what Canna's going to build next. Not going to need a QSS or anything like that here this game, as, yeah, very frustrating for this Renekton to deal with the Quinn.
Yeah. The Renekton's... Okay.
Okay. We're looking for it, but has to use the flash and the cleanse, as that lifeline passive ended immediately.
Yeah, I just kind of got my face in my hands here, because this is where, okay, this is where Quinn is supposed to be the strongest, right? Renekton, very strong in the beginning with the support of the Nidalee, the 2-on-1, the winning the lane, right? They kind of did put on a lot of pressure, and Renekton got a bunch of items.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, as there's the Vault, slice back in, Dudu just kills.
I don't know what is going on here, man. That is just, again, a lack of respect of what the Renekton can do. You're super low. And Renekton can close the distance. They're looking to try to turn it around, though.
Yep, Mireu going to be in trouble here. Facebreaker comes in. Faker wanting to chase him down. Doesn't find the portal jumpers. Okay. Faker's going to go golden, but Dudu has made his way in. Faker gets out. Cuzz may not be so lucky. Haymaker, fair bit of damage. Both of them get inside the Tempered Fate. It's a golden cuddle just to make sure that they survive. Lehends to the rescue. He's going to take a magical journey, trying to find the stun on effort. Doesn't get there, though. Can't make the connection. Mireu trying to justice punch forward, and Hanwha Life are on the attack. As there's the dredge line onto Mireu, but that may not be the re-engage that you want. T1 Haru dives on in, finds the pounce onto Faker, who makes it underneath this turret. Low health bars as Canna's going to come in to make this a 5 versus 5. But of course, we're not going to have any kills. Too many.
Of course not. Nobody dies, only the Quinn dies in the entire fight that lasted from in front of the tier 2 on the bottom side of Hanwha Life in front of the tier 2 on T1 side. But at the end of the day, you mentioned Hanwha Life, they were pushing forward, they were winning the fight, and because of that, the timing is so important. It's right here at the Infernal, and I was talking about T1 with their scaling, picking up multiple Infernal Drakes, but now they gave away the Cloud, and they're giving a chance for Hanwha Life to stack them up. As T1, though, they're going to look to move towards the Baron now.
I'm just looking at Teddy, man, and I'm really scared for T1 because, sorry, not Teddy, looking at Viper. Because Viper's about to have his death's dance. Canna's going to turn up. It looks like it will be the Baron secured by T1. That's going to be, oh, Mireu. He's still going to try and go in. Not entirely sure why. No, Tempered Fate is available, and Mireu's going to survive because T1 not killing anyone this game. It's just not what we're about. Maybe this is their new test. Can you win a game without getting a kill? Because they're still in the lead, right? Like, I don't know.
2-0, 25 minutes, less than a kill every 10 minutes.
This is Coach Kim. He's just like, focus on the macro. If I see anyone get a kill, I'm going to be extraordinarily upset. No skirmishing, just macro play. And look, they were able to grab that Baron. Definitely good news. We'll see whether T1 can translate this into some more turrets.
Yeah, and okay, we're going to get a look at the replay. Now, this is where Quinn is supposed to be good, right? But he's so low, and he's like, no, I can stay at a range. I can kite him down. But then the ball comes in, and he I mean, this is basic Renekton. I mean, yeah, mechanics, right? He has 2 slice and dices.
Well, he has one slice, and then 1 dice, and he gets the dice.
So, if you don't have vault for the second one, don't get in range. And because now they're fighting 4v5, as we have another fight here.
We'll see whether this is going to be T1's first kill, as Lehends actually gets dredge-lined into his Tempered Fate. It's not going to actually do anything, as that's the first kill for T1. Coach Kim's not going to be happy, but I assume everybody else is. It's T1 underneath this inner turret bottom side of the map. Will be able to take this one down, and they still are oppressive, and Teddy is terrifying. He almost has his 3 items, I believe, unless the rapid-fire cannon has been completed. We'll see whether Viper can take control of this situation. Faker dancing forward where he can. As Canna's in the mid lane, trying to get that split push going. Dudu's basically irrelevant now. Even if he did manage to get that kill onto Canna, it is very hard for him to stand his ground in that lane. As Bubble lands onto Viper, that is not what you want. If you're a Hanwha Life fan, True Shot Barrage. Fair bit of damage onto Faker, otherwise not too much. Canna getting rid of that inner turret as Faker. Portal jumping forward. What is going on with the mid laner of T1 here today as Thunderstorm comes out? There's the showstopper onto Mireu, who goes golden into that backline. He will fall down as now Canna makes his entrance. That's a couple of kills. Dredge line's beautiful from Effort as well. As Lehends goes down and Effort is able to survive. Haru and Viper versus the world here for Hanwha Life, and I don't think it's going to be enough. As Cuzz and Teddy going to hold position on the bottom side as Canna gets to work here in mid, and it looks like the war of attrition has been won. That's a fantastic arcane shift from Viper. Get himself out of the way here as the inhibitor's not going to be focused just yet, as Canna is going to find a few autos onto it.
Yeah. So for all of Canna's mistakes in terms of the death, he's still going to be much more... he's going to be so much more effective as the game comes along, and we're beginning to see that now, finally. So they're saved by the draft, essentially, here, and the way that Hanwha Life tried to just put all their eggs in the early game basket and didn't get much done. And they're also saved, I feel like, to be honest, by the fact that they're playing Hanwha Life. I mean, how many times is Faker going to say, yeah, I'm Zoe, I'm really fast, I can just run in the face of Galio, Renekton, Bard? Like, you can't keep doing this, Faker, I'm sorry. Yeah, got to be really careful, as you're going to see he's really low. And what?
He gets a bubble onto Haru.
Yeah, but it's like you're going to get insta-stunned, insta-taunted. It's just, I don't know really what the idea is behind it. It seems like overconfidence to me. And thankfully they have, you know, a Quinn that is getting up to her 3rd item, right? Otherwise, this fight would look very, very different. And the fact that Renekton is doing 0 outside of, you know, capitalizing on Faker's mistake, and that's really it.
That's a very cute vault. It's going to get Canna over that wall and out of danger. Do have a stopwatch here for Dudu. He's fallen behind finally in farm. This is how it's supposed to look. Probably supposed to look worse, to be honest, but still, Renekton not feeling like the greatest pick at this point in the game. Closing in on 30 minutes. This is where Renekton struggles to hold on to any relevance. As Mireu's just going to cycle some summoner spells. Grabs his flashback again. That's all right. Here's the showstopper into the backline. Cuzz joining Dudu there as Viper. Still at half health, feeling all right. That's a huge ultimate out of the Ezreal. Effort's going to get ripped apart. The Quinn died somewhere in there as well. Renekton grabs 1 kill. Beautiful timing there on the Justice Punch, and Hanwha Life smashed T1 in the face.
Oh, they just destroyed them there in that fight. That was not even close, as they're going to look to push to end the game, I think, here. They could easily go over and get Infernal Soul, but they say, no, we're just going to go for it. They still got 25 seconds on so many members of T1.
This is still a Hail Mary, though, because you can imagine the percentage play is that Infernal Drake. But it looks like Hanwha Life, they think they can do it. They've got a minion wave coming in. Faker, I don't know what he can actually do about this. He's got a broken stopwatch and nothing else, as we do have Nautilus respawning, with the first Nexus turret is going to go down. The second now is in trouble as Viper's getting out of the way of effort where he can. Teddy and Cuzz are going to respawn, but the Nexus is being focused, and Hanwha Life will take game 1 against T1.
And it's a straight